trust and on the issue of skill. On the issue of trust and on the issue of skill. Now, you would agree with me here that these are a number of things people who have joined an Ajo, right? These are some of the challenges they face or they encounter while joining an Ajo, right? So there is, first and foremost, there is somebody who comes as more or less like an admin. And then this admin, please, can you all hear me, please? Hello?
All right, so Shego, I'm back. I don't know if I can carry on from.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
Okay, so sorry guys, I had a little network challenge. So back to the problems we saw about OfficeAjo. We have lack of access to cheap capital. If you walk into any bank today trying to obtain a loan, the interest rates mixed with the inflation we are seeing now in our society is crazy, to say the least. But here at OfficeAjo, we make it cheaper for people to have access to their funds. Delay in payment. In the traditional Ajo, before your funds are released, it takes quite a lot of hassle and it's inconveniencing. So here at OfficeAjo, we also make it easier when it comes to the time factor in getting your Ajo. Lack of security. I mean, there's an issue of trust when you're doing an Ajo with someone who you don't really know. But we have a 3-factor security measure that helps with that. Lack of insurance resulting in no plans for compensation when a member dies. So yeah, we have Leadway Insurance as a partner that helps us to address that problem. Shego will talk more about that as the meeting proceeds. And lack of robust trust measures. Of course, once again, when you're doing an Ajo with people, people you don't know in a traditional way, there's no way to hold on to the fact that they could always go with your money, as it has happened to so many people. We solve that problem here. Perceived trust that each member will keep to their commitment, and it's limited to people with a shared affinity. So we try to do a lot of verification to make sure that the people we have on our platform are actually verified. All right. So the next page. All right, so what are the solutions we bring here at OfficeAjo to protect your savings? First of all, we assess the credit profile of everyone signing up through the credit bureau, CRC. So, I mean, everybody has a credit rating, especially those who have taken loans from banks. So we can use this as a measure to check how worthy people are in terms of obtaining loans. And then we can always flag someone who has a very low credit score. Secondly, we verify you and your organization. So we have a way of checking to make sure that people are actually members of organizations. We do that through Mono, who also helps us to obtain bank statements to make sure that people receive income from and also we sign MOUs with organizations to onboard them and make sure that their employees are actually verified. Thirdly, we ensure employees. Okay, so we make sure that all the employees on our platform are insured. So that way, if anything happens to anybody in your job group, you're still guaranteed that you're still going to get your payouts. And fourthly, we have a 3-factor authentication method. So for you to access your funds, you need your password, you need an OTP, and you also need a security question. So that's in my understanding, that's like a very top security measure to protect people's funds. So on to the next slide. Next slide, please.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to, I don't know, it's not just for 1 minute, please. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so what is our unique value proposition here at OfficeAjo? First of all, you have access to cheap capital. We just charge a 5% flat rate on all lump sum of our job that we do here. We have a Providus Bank retainership where if you create an account with us, you're instantly going to get a virtual Providus Bank account. So you can walk into any Providus Bank and obtain your funds. And you could also get a Providus customized card just for OfficeAjo, right? The third one is it saves time and increases efficiency. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, traditional Ajo, before you get your funds takes a lot of time, and it's not even something that you can be so sure that it's going to come through, right? But we take all that away. Fourthly, we add an interest to the last speaker. So we have a scheme where for the last people that are going to be picking their money on OfficeAjo, right, we add an interest to them. So we see it like you've been putting your money in the bank for like 10 months. At the end of the 10th month, if you go into the bank to get your money, the bank shouldn't charge you. If for anything, you're actually doing a favor by putting your money in the bank. So what we do is that we give an interest to the last speakers of the ajo. People who collect their money earliest is kind of like you're going to obtain a loan, right? So therefore, there is a cost of capital for that loan. But for those who pick last, we even add an interest. Okay, so it's like, thank you for banking with us, or thank you for saving your money with OfficeAjo. Fifth, we have convenience and trust. You know, I talked a lot of the trust aspect where, I mean, doing an ajo with people who you don't really know, it's very risky. But for here, we have the 3-factor security measure, we have Leadway, we have Providus, we have so many ways to make sure that your money is intact, to build that trust. And then we insure you, which is boiling back down to Leadway Insurance that covers certain things that make sure that your money is intact. And of course, Shego will speak more about this as we proceed. So the next slide. Benefits to employees of organizations. You have access to cheap capital. So once again, say no more to high cost of borrowing, saves time and increases efficiency in the comfort of your home. You know, you just pull out your phone, sign up to a website, put your card details, you get debited, and when it's your time to collect, you get credited. Simple as that. Confidence and trust, back down to the security measures we mentioned earlier. Next slide. Now, the benefits for employers. So as a company who is onboarding OfficeAjo, what do you stand to benefit? First of all, we help you to retain your talents, right? Because when your employees are on OfficeAjo, it's a better way to have a hold of them in terms of they are now, on a platform where they're accountable. So before they leave your organization, it's a lot to consider, being that they're already involved in an job. So it helps you to really retain your talents. It's a better way to help you meet your employees' financial needs. I mean, a lot of people will tell you that their salaries don't really do it for them, right? But here in our OfficeAjo, even with whatever salary you're earning, you can be part of an ajo that will give you a lot more than you earn, and you can be able to, fulfill your financial needs. And of course, improves productivity. A happy employee is a happy company, really. So if your employees are happy with their financial situation, of course, productivity is going to go up. But if they're not happy with their financial situation, there'll be a lot of grumbling, there'll be a lot of, hasslebacks and all that. So I think this definitely makes it better for employers. And also to add to this, we are currently working on a product where every employer who onboards on our organization, has a buy now, pay later feature. Of course, we'll see more of that as we proceed. On to the next slide. Next slide, please.
Yes, please. I'm trying to. Yeah.
All right. So who's our team here at OfficeAjo? I introduced myself, Nana. I'm the Chief Growth Officer. We have Shego Thomas, also co-founder and Thrift Officer. We have Esther, who did the welcome introduction. She's our Chief Operating Officer. We have Ali Oseni, who is the team lead for user interface and user experience. And we also have Dotum, who is our CTO, our tech head, web design, and all that, front end and back end. So on to the next slide, please. So what are licenses and registrations? We have a cooperative license from the Cooperative Federation of Nigeria, which lets you know that we are definitely licensed to do what we are doing. We also have a license from the Corporate Affairs Commission, which shows that we are a registered. Next slide. Shego, are you there? Next slide, please.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Sorry. Just. Sorry, don't know what.
All right. So I think Shegu would take on from here to talk about our strategic partnerships and what they do for us. And he'll also tell us how the platform works precisely.
All right. Thank you, Nana. Thank you, everyone, for joining. To take it further from where Nana stopped. Sorry, my video is not on actually. So we have a number of, as you can see, strategic partners here who are a partner with us on this journey. Like I was saying earlier, the major issue about Ajo, even with the people you know, is trust. Sometimes it goes beyond the fact that an individual is not credible or reliable, doesn't have that integrity, right? Sometimes things beyond one's comprehension can happen at any time. Anyone could fall here, anyone could, God forbid, pass on and all. Now, we know that in this situation, really, it goes beyond integrity, it goes beyond whatever check we need to do, right? How do we ensure that we protect the sanctity of these contributions? And here comes lead reassurance. Right? Lead reassurance provides an insurance cover for all contributors. And I'm able to say that even in our respective organizations, our employers don't even provide us with an insurance, right? So we are actually giving all contributors a cover because we know anything can happen at any time. And it's a chain. Like if anything happens beyond, this person's comprehension, beyond the basic things that talked about integrity of the contributor, we don't have or anyone has a control over what happens. So Leadway comes in here to step in as a buffer. Providence Bank, and sometimes you can ask the question, where do we warehouse the funds, right? We don't hold any of these funds. We are more or less like an aggregator. So the fund sits with Providence Bank. And if you sign up as I speak to you now, you will see that you automatically get a virtual card, a virtual account where you can do your basic transaction, the star 8737, the star 894 and all of that. And then you can see it real time. So every signing upon registration gets the virtual account. And then, like you rightly said, we're working towards getting a Providence Bank, and OfficeAjo ATM card. Now, verify me helps with verification, just like the name implies, right? How are we sure that you are truly the person who is coming on a job? How do we match your name, your bank account with your BVN? How do we ensure that, every other form of verification, it is actually you? You need to fill all the KYC. The KYC, they are all automated. So it's either you put in, though I'm sure going to show us, walk us through that in the course of this, where you have to either use your name, your driver's license, or your voter's card, to validate. It helps collect in your statement. So because for us, imagine someone who is earning 100,000 and says that he or she wants to join an job for 150,000. How do we verify that truly this person can actually join an job that he or she has said he or she wants to do? We need to be able to verify. Now, so typically how you verify is that, of course, we have, if you're working in a structured environment, you have a payslip, and then you equally have a statement of account where your salary comes in and all. Now, Mono helps us fetch in real time, in less than 30 seconds, your statement of salary account, where we get to see truly what you had. And just like the banking sector, we also know that you have responsibilities, you're perhaps a family person, you need to take care of yourself. So you cannot contribute all that you earn. So the maximum you can do at every point in time is a 33% of your earnings. So if you earn 100,000, for instance, you can't do more than 33,000 maximum. And you can never join more than 2 Hajo at a go. So you can't join more than 2 Hajo at a go. So the model helps fetch the account, and then we get to see in real time, and then we approve or disapprove depending on outcome of your what's it called on you, outcome of our screening on you. Paystack helps us collect funds, just like we all know. To the next slide, please. Let me just. I'm struggling with. All right. Okay, so I want to just
Hello,
quickly show us
welcome
how
and
it
thank you
works.
for using Office.
So we don't do so much of talk, and then we see how it works in real time. Oh, sorry.
Hello, welcome and thank you for using OfficeAjo. So I'll be taking you through step-by-step process to join an Agile. I assume that you have an account already. If not, you can check my video out on how to sign up. So for this, you click on login. It takes you to the login page where you provide your email address and your password, and then you hit the login tab. So it takes you straight to your dashboard. But we're interested in joining an Agile. That's the purpose of this video. So I click on join Agile, right? I can see here active, explore, and completed. Active means that active Agile simply means that the Agile I'm a part of, I'm currently part of. Explore simply means that the Agile I'm trying to explore and be a part of. Completed simply means the Agile I've completed. Now to my right, I can see Agile wallet. So for you to join an Agile, you have to actually use joining an Agile. Monthly deductions will be taken from your wallet, and then in the event that you do not have money in your wallet, it will be deducted from the card as well that you provided. So I want to join an Agile. So there are so many Agiles here, right? So but I'm interested in have a goal amount in mind. I need an Agile for 100,000. So let me filter to drill down to 100,000 Agile, then select contributors there. But I just want to see the different Agiles for 100,000 here. And so I can see the different ways I can actually contribute in an Agile of 100,000. And so I am interested in this. I click on this, and then I can see the particulars here, and I can see a copy link. So I can actually make use of this copy link here, and then share with friends and family that I think might be interested in this. And then I come here, I click on join now. Now it shows to me that I'm about to join an Agile of 100,000 with a contributive amount of 25,000 with 4 participants over 4 months, and I can only contribute one third of my salary. So you cannot contribute more than that. To join an Agile, you have to be a member of the organization. If you cannot find the organization here, you have to use the please select tab here, and then once you put in send, you get a notification, and within 24 hours we assess, and then we onboard your organization. So let me click here for the population that has branches, here and there. So this is the very, or choose to use a third-party system called Moodle that helps you fetch your statement of account in real time. So I'm interested in that. Let me click continue. I use GT Bank, and then log in with internet banking, and then I put in my details here, and I click login, through Mono from my bank. So they charged that different pay salaries at different times. So some in the beginning of the month, end of the month, mid month. Let me say mine is 15th. So meaning that 15th of every month over the period of this Agile, I'm going to be charged on monthly basis. Purpose of Agile, this is very optional, but we just want to know why exactly are you doing this. So let's assume I'm doing this to get a car. So that's it. I hit on make contribution. So it takes me to a payment gateway, and then I can choose to actually pay with card, bank, or USSD. So I want to pay with the card, and I make payment. So it's successful, and it takes me back to the page. Now you can see to my right hand corner it says transaction is successful. Slot will be assigned to you when verification is completed. So and you can see here it has changed from join now to you are yet to be verified to be a contributing member. So what typically happens here is that having made payment, we have been prompted, and then we immediately verify verify your statement of account, verify that truly you can afford to pay the sum of 25,000, which details. And then once that is done, just at the fingertip, your HR as well. for verification to confirm whether or not you're a staff of that organization. And all of this I'm talking about is within minutes, 5 minutes, less than that. Um, Off you go. And then once the verification is completed, you get a notification immediately saying to you that you have been verified, and this changes straight away to you are now a member of this Ajo. So see my next video to see
All right,
what
thank you
typical
for
verification
time.
exercises.
You were able to have a bit of an idea of as to how it works. Now, to buttress to that, so you would see that for you to join an Ajo, click on that drop button, you see a list of organizations. Now, the question is, if you are not a, I mean, you're a staff of an organization that is yet to be ordered, does that you just log on now to the system? Does that stop you from joining an Ajo? No. The benefit of having employers on board is for our product which is in view, which is buy now, pay later, right? That concept simply means that we also need that extra measure because it's not an Ajo anymore, right? So you're trying to purchase a start have account that we can actually see and review, and that's the main thing, right? So the onboarding for employers coming, just more or less for an additional benefit of value, which is you want to buy now, but you don't necessarily have the fund, and that is where onboarding the organization comes in. Next to the next slide, even though my colleague Nana talked about this, so this is our pricing model. Because the question is, what is the need for us as a business? It's a business where we are in the business of aggregating people. We are in the business of matching people together and then taking the headache of doing the verification, knowing fully well that yours is just once I contribute and it's my turn, I get my. Though that doesn't make any business sense for you as imagine a group of 10 where you just stay choose not to join an Ajo and then make your contributions to yourself in your bank and all. So what is the incentive for you joining Ajo? Knowing fully well that the first few set of people or persons are the ones who really benefit from this. And that is what has informed pricing model here. See, for every last speaker, right, there is a certain percentage of their own Ajo contribution that goes back to them. So they are not even deducted. They are not deducted whatsoever. You can see here, if you happen to be the last person between a group of anything, rather we are adding to you. So the 12th person picks 2% in addition to his contribution. So if you are in the million naira, it simply means that you're getting 20,000 at the end of month 10, because every other person has picked, you happen to be the last person, and that's how it is. The last, the 10th person, the 9th person, and the 8th person. Now, these are the companies we have onboarded so far. Like I said, this is more or less keying into this to ensure that, especially in the face of rising inflation, devaluation of the currency, right? A number of people, salaries, I mean, a lot of times don't match up with your people who must consume. Basic needs must be met, right? So first and foremost, you need to have access to capital. If you go to any of the banks or financial houses now, we know what it is, right? And that is where Ajo comes in. Now, beyond that, we know that sometimes there are so much to put in your funds, and that's how countries abroad overseas work. They live, it's a credit system, right? A sound credit system where you don't necessarily have to pay for everything you need or you desire. And that is what we're trying to do. So these are the companies we've onboarded so far. Like I said, this is some of the products that we have in place now. Buy now, but their companies, their staff can go beyond just joining an Ajo to key into buy now later. Of course, if you are not a member of any of these organizations, you can as well join an Ajo. When you open up the Ajo platform, you will see not available. Once you click on not available, it opens up a dialog box that says that put in your name of your organization. That's it. So whether your organization is onboarded or not, you can as well still be a part of it. Then our investment arm is also work in progress. If you look at us, because we realize the landscape, we don't do what we don't have competence in and we don't have license to do. Our job platform, we have a cooperative license, like you saw earlier, by virtue of the Cooperative Act of 2004, we can actually do what we are doing. In addition to that, users come on board and then we save funds. We warehouse the funds that come through us to Providence Bank. We don't have a license to do this now, and it's still work in progress. We're working at that. Thank you. The objective of this, like Esther rightly said, is to use this platform time, get us all signed up, use this and give us feedback. Now, I know that, of course, people might be a bit skeptical as to, okay, we've talked about this. I still have from them. Can we all log in now for those of us that have signed up? For those that are yet to, can we sign up and try to log into the system now? You would find Ajo Hub. It starts with 1,000 just to see how it works, right? The concept of beta is real time, see how it works, and provide us feedback. If you don't use I'm sure there are questions waiting for us. Can we take questions, please? While we all sign up or sign in, as the case may be. Okay, I have Kingston here.
Okay, thank you so much, Shibun, and good afternoon, everyone. Mine is a form of question and comment.